Yes, class 6. So we are on this part of the SSC Geography, India physical features. What is all this about? Please pay attention. I'm going to give just the explanation and you are going to read for yourself and come to know. I'll tell you everything about it. Now, we have the major part of India. Geographically, India can be divided into 5 major divisions: the Peninsula Plateau region, the Northern Mountainous region, the Northern Indian Plain region, the Coastal Plain region, and the Indian Islands and the Indian deserts. Okay. Now, India is a mean to say, what can we say? India is a vast country with varied landforms. Our country has practically all major physical features of the earth, that is, mountains, plains, deserts, plateaus, and islands. India is a large landmass formed during different geological periods which has influenced her relief. Besides geological formations, a number of processes such as weathering, erosion, deposition have created and modified the relief. Its present form, India has come into it. Okay. Now there is the main part is the causes of the plate movement. Do we have the plate movement here explanation? Okay, yes, everything is there. So you have to know how it happened. Plates at our Earth's planet's surface move because of the intense heat into the Earth's core, that causes a molten rock in the mantle layer to move. It moves in a pattern called a convection cell that forms when warm material rises, cools, and eventually it rises, hot thing goes up, cools down, comes down. As the cool material sinks down, it is warmed and rises again. The movement of the plates results in the building up of stress, within the plates, and the continental rocks above lead into folding and faulting and volcanic activity. Gets heated, goes up, cools down, again comes down. Again one other hill comes. That's how the hills form. Try to understand. Tectonic plate we have. The tectonic plate theory describes the large scale motion of the Earth's lithosphere, the top part. This theory is based on the continental drift, which explains the formation of various continents over millions of years. Plate boundaries. They are based on the relative movement between two tectonic plates, and there are 3 types of plate boundaries. Convergent boundary is the case the two adjacent together tectonic plates move towards each other. Plates when move towards each other, things go up. Divergent boundary, in this case the two adjacent plates move away, then a hole becomes in. Then we have the transform boundary. Right. There is a transform boundary. In the case, the two adjacent plates move along their borders, from both the border sides, along their lines. That is how India was made during this. So divergent is going away, it forms a ridge in the land. Transformation, when they are going away from their bodies, earthquake happens. And convergent plate is, they just cross over each other towards there and the mountain forms. Understand? So this is the actual reason, actually what happens. There are many hypotheses regarding the origin of Himalayas. However, there is most complete that the Himalayan mountains have come out of great geosyncline, geosyncline called the Tethys Sea. About 120 million years ago it was there. And after the only continents had come, they had come into action, into force. Okay. The curved shape of the Himalaya is convex to the south. It is attributed to the maximum push offered at two ends of the Indian peninsula during the northward drift. In the northwest, it was the Aravallis, and in the northeast, the Assam ranges. Recent studies have shown us also that India is moving towards the rate about 5 centimeter per year and crashing into rest of the Asia. Buckling the Himalaya and the Angara land and Gondwana land, the drift is providing instability to the Himalayan region. Latestly also they said there's going to be an earthquake in the Himalayas. Day before yesterday I was reading in the news. The Himalayas are the youngest mountains in the world and are structurally the folded mountains. The Himalayas run along the northern border of India. The Himalayas are from an arc which is about 2,400 kilometers long. The width varies from 400 kilometers in Kashmir to 150 kilometers in Arunachal Pradesh. The altitude, the height variations are greater in the eastern part than in the western part. There are 3 parallel ranges on its longitude extent. Okay. Then what comes in? We have the formation of the fold mountains. We have the Himalaya mountains I said just now, and what else do we have? Mount Everest is 8,848 meters, K2 is 8,611, Kanchenjunga is 8,586, so on and so forth. These are all the peaks which we have. The great of inner Himalayas, the lesser Himalaya or Himachal, the Shivaliks. Okay, so now what happens is the greater of inner Himalayas. We have the greater of inner Himalayas, right? Yes, Himachal, Himadri we have here. This is the northernmost range. It is also known as Himadri. This is the most continuous range. You know, it contains the loftiest peaks. The average highest peaks of this range is 6,000 meters. All the prominent Himalayan peaks are in this range. The folds of the greater Himalayas are asymmetrical. They are not in the same time in nature. And the core of this part is composed of granite. Because of the lofty heights, the peaks of these ranges are perennially snow bounded. Because they are huge heights, so snow point, they are always having snow on top of them. The lesser Himalaya or the Himachal, this lies towards the south of the greater Himalayas. The altitude peaks in this range varies from 3,700 meters to 4,000 meters, a bit lower. Average width of this range is 50 kilometers. This range is mainly composed of highly compressed and altered rocks. Then comes the Shivaliks. The Shivaliks, this is the outermost range of Himalayas. The altitude varies between 900 and 1100 kilometers altitude. In this range, the width varies between 10 to 50 kilometers of each hill. These ranges are composed of unconsolidated sediments. The longitudinal valley is between the Himachal and the Shivaliks are called Doon, Dehradun. Okay. The Mizo hills, the Garo hills, I'll come to that. Now, Himalayan region from east to west is Punjab Himalayas. This part lies between the Indus and the Satluj. From west to east, this is also known as Kashmir Himalaya and Himachal Himalaya respectively. Kumaon Himalayas this lies between Satluj and Kali rivers. Nepal Himalayas, this is a part between the Kali and the Tista rivers. Assam Himalayas, this part lies between Tista and Dihang rivers. Eastern hills and mountains, the Brahmaputra marks the eastern border of the Himalayas. Beyond the Dihang Gorge, the Himalayas bend sharply towards south and form the eastern hills of Purvanchal. These hills run through the northeastern states of India. They are mostly composed of sandstone. These hills are composed of the Patkai hills, Naga hills, Manipuri hills and Mizo hills. Mizo hills, it's there in your book. Okay. So I wish I could show you some pictures. The northern plains of India we come. The northern plain of India is formed by the three river system vice versa. The Indus, the Ganga and the Brahmaputra. Okay. Along with the tributaries, this plain is composed of alluvial soil which has been deposited over millions of years. The total area of the northern plain is about 7 lakh square kilometer. It is about 2400 kilometer long and about 240 to 320 kilometer broad. That is India's plains. The Punjab plains, the Ganga plains, the Brahmaputra plains. Okay? These are the physical features of India. The northern plain is divided into three sections. The Punjab plain, the Ganga plain, the Brahmaputra plain. The Punjab plain form, I'll come back in the next video.